Hi guys, a very good afternoon and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. Something very interesting right here with us, and we need to take a look onto this story right here. It's a developing story and a lot is happening. Remember, Vice President Chiwenga has been out of Zimbabwe for days now. I think from the 8th of June, Vice President Chiwenga left Zimbabwe for Tajikistan, yes. I do not know that name. That country is strange. But we need to take a look on what is happening, because when he left Zimbabwe before Emerson Mnangagwa was supposed to land in Zimbabwe. And a lot of people believed that he defied the protocol. The arrangements were that he was supposed to wait for Emerson Mnangagwa to arrive from Russia, then he would take off. But he didn't wait for the briefing. He left before Mnangagwa could reach Zimbabwe, and that raised a lot of alarm then. But what is of concern right now is this story which we need to share right now. VP Chiwenga was supposed to come back to Zimbabwe, but he went through India. This is something very important. We have not seen a confirmation about his arrival in Zimbabwe. I've been trying to see if he has been confirmed to be in Zimbabwe so far. But something happened when he was on his way from Tajikistan. He went through India. ZimLive reported that Vice President Constantino Chiwenga inbound. He left on June 8 for a water conference in Tajikistan. His private jet appears to have departed from Mumbai, India. So this is something very important. Mumbai, India, and it means that he made a stop in that country, and he was using a Malta registered Bombardier Global Express Reg 9H3. So this is what happened, and it's very important for us to take a look onto this matter critically, because whatever which is happening in Zimbabwe at this point in time as we speak, VP Chiwenga is at the center of everything. Remember, in everything you are doing, you have to understand who he is. Symbolically, he is representing something very important. And for those who have been following these shows, I have talked about that in the Joseph context. So you would understand that his stopping by in India is raising questions. Number one, remember, his boys are being hunted while he is out of Zimbabwe. So is it coincidence that VP Chiwenga is out, his boys, Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu, are also out of Zimbabwe? Is it in coincidence? No, it's not coincidence. These young men knew that if they are to be in Zimbabwe and he is outside Zimbabwe, they will have more troubles to face than when he is available or when he's in Zimbabwe. So Grapevine is telling us that there is a possibility that they met in India. Why India? These young men are in China. So the closest place for them and the most neutral and unsuspicious place to have this meeting is in India. So this is the reason why there is a speculation that is the reason why he had to stop in Mumbai, so as to meet these gentlemen right there. So others believed that they were supposed to meet in Dubai, but that Dubai thing was cancelled because it believed that there are certain people who were alerted about his possible landing in Dubai, and he changed and went over to India, which is Mumbai, where he is believed to have met the young men and some people. Remember, he was traveling with a delegation of trusted cadres he is working with from the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And given that he left without having a diplomatic meeting with President Mnangagwa when he was supposed to return from Russia, then something is scary there, because they were supposed to brief him before leaving, and they were supposed to be briefing each other, being given instructions to do A, B, C, D. So he is coming back at this point in time. He is coming back after some time out of Zimbabwe, and it's very interesting. So he was reported to be in India, I think, on the 18th. That is it on Tuesday? Yes, I think on Tuesday, that is when he was reported to be in India. And as of now, I have not seen any confirmation that he's now in Zimbabwe. I have to check about that. But this is something very, very interesting developing right there. Sources are saying that his stop in India was significant. He had to meet with some people in India who are Zimbabweans because of some issues which are arising right there. Remember, Chivayo and his team, they are fighting back. So they were fought and they are now fighting back. And Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission is now claiming that Moses Mpofu failed to deliver goods which was supposed to deliver. And they're saying he delivered nothing after being paid. And this is the reason why they're after him. And the whole issue is to try and silence this faction from pursuing the issue of Wikino Chivayo. Because Wikino Chivayo's issue was going to top the list, was going to justify the reason why there was supposed to be a step in whatever which is happening. But given that Moses Mpofu is now implicated as well, then it is going to be very difficult for a step in to be made, because there is a great possibility that they will exchange some words and accuse each other of treachery one way or the other. So it's interesting to see what is happening in the nation Zimbabwe, and wait to see what is going to happen next. So there were no information. There was no information about where the plane was going to, and that is very important. So someone says, I thought that I will read the airplane has vanished from the radar. Aibo. So don't think Chiwenga will go before he finishes his work. He does have a role to play in Zimbabwe. That is the reason why he survives, or he survived. And he is the Ruben. And he will have to play his role as the Ruben. I know fear that Zimbabwe Defense Forces is staffed with too many ZANU militia from the Bodagezi days, cause so many opportunities representing themselves and nothing happens. So we are treading in the most difficult days of Zimbabwean politics. These are the most difficult days of the Zimbabwean politics. Because he must be clever. Our good friend in Malawi, Right Honorable Vice President S.K. Chilima, akaroha yakapenga by those he thought had now forgiven him. Watch your steps, CG Chiwenga. You just never know what may happen to your plan. So I believe that is his movements. He is trying by all means possible to run something. So what are the implications of what is happening is that there is a possibility that Chiwenga has launched a parallel government, or is going to be operating a parallel government where he is going to be doing his own things, and Mnangagwa will be doing his own things going forward. And that is going to be the foundation of a major conflict which is going to emerge into something else. Remember, it happened when Robert Mugabe's last days were near. We had a parallel system which was being run in Zimbabwe, where Mnangagwa and his team were running their own affairs and their own things, and Grace Mugabe had to lament about those things each and every time. What is of importance is to note that Chiwenga was not alone. His wife was with him. This is Minyotabo Chiwenga. They were together, and this is very important. So there were Chiwenga. There was also Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Vangelis Aritatos, and other senior government officials were also part of the delegation of VP Chiwenga there. So with the wife available, then it shows that VP Chiwenga is up for something big, is up for something great. He left Zimbabwe on the 8th, and he spent so much time there, and nobody knowing what he's actually doing, what he's actually planning. And then he made a suspicious stop in India, and that is something very important, because India is a very strategic. India, China, these are strategic countries when it comes to the issues of global issues. At this point in time, they are very important. And given that Mnangagwa has aligned himself with Russia, and Chiwenga is aligned to China, and then India later, what it means is there is great trouble. Remember, also Mnangagwa is aligned to Britain, and Chiwenga is seemingly aligning himself to the USA. And they had to keep Chiwenga on sanctions purposefully. On that list, they had to keep Chiwenga on sanctions purposefully. So something is very, very big is about to happen in the nation Zimbabwe, and a lot is happening within ZANU-PF. Don't let them lie to you that all is well. All is not well within ZANU-PF, because signs of cracks are happening everywhere. Everywhere there are signs of cracks, and ZANU-PF is collapsing. As we speak right now, ZANU-PF is effectively collapsing. This is the reason why they are worried with the stop which happened with the Vice President Chiwenga there. So we wait to see what is going to happen, but we are trading in very interesting moments, and the people of Zimbabwe must be very, very cautious and very, very alert, because the Chivayo saga, Mike Chimombe saga, is going to steer things up, is going to turn things up. Remember, Wikino Chivayo is now untouchable because they are now going after Chimombe and Mpofu, who are believed to be Chiwenga's associates. And it's game on, because one way or the other, each faction will need to defend its own people. We will see if Chimombe and Mpofu will be able to return to Zimbabwe at this point in time, because there are fears that once they return to Zimbabwe, they'll be arrested. So we will see what is going to happen. Are they going to come back to Zimbabwe, or they will have to stay in China or outside Zimbabwe for a while, up until their issues have been resolved? So it's game on. It's a mess. Things are happening, and a move has been made on Team Chiwenga so as to try and silence them, so that they don't pursue Chivayo saga and Chivayo issue. But there is something which somebody told me, that the other team is willing even to flush out everybody who is involved, which means Chivayo is going to be more vulnerable at this point in time. He is going to be more vulnerable because things are not well, especially for Chivayo. So we need to put him in prayers. Yes, we know that sometimes we disagree, but we need to put him in prayers so that he lives and he faces justice as deserved. We don't want to lose him along the way. These are critical issues, very sensitive issues, very important issues happening at this point in time, and anything can happen. When you fail to deal with somebody through the courts or persecution, they can use other methods and other means, because Chivayo is now unwanted. He's now unwanted, and the only way is for him to go to Chikurubi in exile, or to go forever. So this is what is happening. Ruazano says VP is back home, and yeah, if he's home, then I think, because he left India, I think on the 18th, but I didn't see any article which was indicating his arrival from home. So I have to check with Herald to see what is happening, because for the past few days I was so busy and I couldn't check a lot of issues. So it's very important to note that this is the development at this point in time. Chiwenga's stop in India has raised the suspicion. What was he doing in India? Because he was not scheduled to be there. According to the information of his movements, he was not supposed to be there in India, but he stopped in India unannounced, and he went on to proceed to Zimbabwe. So this is what is happening. We'll continue to watch and see what is going to happen in the nation of Zimbabwe. We are trading in the most interesting times, and change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe. I'm telling you, change is coming to the nation of Zimbabwe. This is the reason why you see the other faction of Triple C is now gone public. They are now trying to do things officially to fight Nelson Chamisa more openly than before. And interesting moment I had, because we expected to see a head-on very, very soon. You are going to see a clash, a head-on happening right there. Mnangagwa will try to rope in this team officially for talks, and so thank you very much for coming. We will see what is going to happen. But 2028, I can tell you, 2028 kure, because there is panic within the system, there is panic within ZANU-PF, and the major question is, why are they panicking? It's because the Ruben effect has now started backbiting them. There was a time when a suggestion was made to eliminate Nelson Chamisa, and it was stopped by somebody within the system, and nobody knows who, but they suspect that somebody within the intelligence or the military informed about such a decision, and something happened. A setup which was made failed, and this is making a lot of people to panic as we speak right now. This is the reason why they have invested much in character assassination, because a warning was given to say, if you try to charge that young man, you never reign in Zimbabwe. It will be the collapse of everything. And it's scary. You are planning something hidden, and a message is sent directly to the first office to say, if you proceed with A, B, C, D, this is going to happen to you. We are not going to let the people of Zimbabwe rest. We will unleash the people of Zimbabwe on you. So that warning itself, it carries a lot of weight. And we wait to see what